Hi guys, welcome back to Kpop Talks after a long time. Today we're gonna do our weekly Kpop recap, and it's gonna be a monthly recap of March 2024. March was a very tough month for me. I really couldn't keep up with schedules and everything, so I said I'm just gonna chill, and when I'll feel better, I'll start to re-upload. So let's get right into it. We have a lot of music. We have 60 songs to talk about, which is gonna be a very long video, but I think we have some interesting stuff to talk about it. Uh, Hopefully in April, now that I'm a little bit more chill, I can actually record more and drop more videos throughout the month and go back to a more relaxed schedule going forward. So the first song we have is a song with it's called. I think the song is actually pretty fun. I like the old school vibe from it. The vocals are fun, and overall I think it's a cool, different vibe from him. And to see him make more of this kind of fun track is something that I wouldn't expect from him specifically. I know he's a guy who likes to have fun and joke and stuff like that, but it's one thing to do it like as a joke here and there on a variety show or in a video. It's another thing to do it in the music, and the fact that he's doing it and while doing it makes still a quality song. It's fun to see. The lyrics are funny, the song overall is cool, and I think the chorus really works. So I think song drops a really fun track, at least for me. Next we have Daesung with Falling Slowly. Daesung obviously from Big Bang fame. This is just a good track overall. I think Daesung delivers a solid track overall, great vocals, and a solid production to go with it. Nothing really to complain, just okay song through and through. Next we have Chunga with Hongjung from 80s with Eeny Miny. Honestly, I kind of like this one. I think it's this 90s like hip hop New York beat. Chunga brings good vocals. Hongjun has a good feature, I think. Makes a different vibe to the song overall, and I think they really fit well with each other. That's one thing you can definitely say, and I think it's nice to see Chunga try something a little bit different, get out of a little bit of her comfort zone, and not just try the same thing she's been doing for a long time, which is good. But it's always good to try different things, specifically for an artist who has been around as long as her at this point. Next we have Highlight with Body. Pretty good song, I have to say. Solid beat, solid production, good vocals, relatively catchy. It's definitely more old school K-pop, second generation, third generation, but more second than third. But I fuck with it, it's fun, and the drop is actually good as well. Next I have Wendy with Wish You Hell. I think it's overall a solid song by Wendy. I didn't necessarily love the direction they went melodically and rhythmically. I think they could have went to the direction that fits her better because she's a great vocalist. But I wanted to go with something more classic pop music, like Taylor Swifty type of style, and I think it's fine. She can pull it off, but I would have preferred something that fit her vocally better. So more R&B, I think, would have been better for her. But I think overall, it's expected at this point, in her career, where she's like they're gonna try to make her do a lot of different things and do it as well as they can. So I think it's solid, but I would have preferred other stuff from Wendy, pretty much similar to what she's released until this point. Next we have Giddy Boy with Drive Me Crazy. This is a very early OG Giddy Boy, I would say. The way he fuses rap and pop and makes these kind of catchier tunes. So it's definitely more of a throwback to like 2018, 2019 Giddy Boy, pre-COVID, I would say. But he does a great job delivering. The lyrics are fun and they have a lot of personality, which is common of what you expect from a Giddy Boy track overall. And I think compared to a lot of his contemporaries that try this style, he's much better than most at doing it. Next we have Tempest with Lighthouse. I'm not a fan of this song, I don't like it personally. I just didn't think the production choice made sense. The rapping sections don't fit with the song at all, and the overall chorus, I would say, is very outdated and old, and it's one of these choruses you've heard a million times. So I would have much rather want something a little bit more original, something they've done in the past. I think that fits them better. But again, when you want to change and do different things, unfortunately they tend to go with stuff that we've already seen and not doing it in an interesting manner. So it's being like this, which is unfortunately more generic.
Next we have Horizon with Lucky. I really like this song by Horizon. I think it's good enough. It's definitely their better song, I would say, right now, out of all the ones they released. It has the best production, the best vocals, and overall, I think it's the song they've done better out of everything else. It's probably the song that makes them stand out the most, I think, compared to most of other groups right now. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think it's a great start for them for this year, hopefully, and it goes towards the right direction. Vediamo se. Next we have Audrey Nuna featuring Tizo Touchdown with Starving. I think this is a decent feature between the two artists. I think they really fit well with each other. I'm not a fan of Tizo. I think he's generally not that interesting, but on this song I think it fits pretty good with her, and they vibe really well. Obviously Audrey brings a fun, different style. It's very alternative. It's very different from what you normally get in this genre, and the mix of the two actually works very well with each other. Next we have Audrey No with Rewind Repeat. Pretty solid song, nice indie pop track from start to finish, decent vocals. I've enjoyed it. I think it's chill and I think it does its job very well. Next we have Daniel Jikal with Fresh. He's a new artist. This is his debut. I've never heard of him before, but it's pretty solid song, I would say. I really like the production, and his voice has a personality, and his rapping is solid overall. The chorus is decent, and so I think for a debut for a solo artist who's not really trying to be a rapper in this industry, it's pretty good, I think. Next we have Bobe with Escape. I think this is another solid, I think, pop track, honestly, from start to finish, with solid vocals, very solid indie track from start to finish. Enjoyed it. I thought there was a lot of it that was pretty good this year, that was coming out of the industry, so the streaks continue for now. Next we have Cassie with Loveful. Just a good ballad overall, so if you like ballads, go check it out. I think next we have When featuring Tamis with Medusa. This is good. I think the two artists fit very well with each other, and the vocals are good, the rapping is solid, and it works. So overall, I think it's a very enjoyable track, and I think it's one of these like more like hip hop slash pop tracks fusions that work if you can do them well, and normally they're very hard to fuck up as far as I'm concerned. Next we have Home is with Noze Noze. I actually like this production a lot. I like this Eurobeat production style they went for, and so the rapping on it works, and it works in a way that it's actually really solid. It's definitely better than the stuff that they did before, because normally in this genre the biggest problem is actually the productions. The productions are so simple and they're so generic that they're not interesting. But if you're gonna take these type of styles and actually make them into an interesting production, you can end up with songs like this that are very fun, they're well produced, and they work and they're fun, and they still don't make the artists have to do something out of the ordinary for themselves, and they don't have to go out of their ways to do something different. So it's good. Next we have Swings with Work. I think it's interesting to see that Swings had like a resurgence career-wise these last couple of years, not just as a singer, as a rapper, but also as a producer. His artists have gotten better, and he's actually now managing them well. The song is fun. I think it works for what it's supposed to be, a bragging song about having money, being the coolest, being the guy who's keeping this industry and this rap shit together. So I think he did a good job, like, I think doing this on a track that it's simple, good fusion of English, Korean, even Spanish. I think he pulls it off much better, and I think he's more credible than a lot of other artists that do it. So he's very confident on a production. Maybe he's not the most lyrical, but this is not always what you need on a track like this. Next we have Mia with Meow. Mia from GWSN, who's now a dead group. I think it's a good song actually. First of all, she's alive, she's not dead, so that's a good thing as a fan. But this type of song works with her. It's an interesting style of pop music that you don't really get from a lot of K-pop artists, and she pulls it off. She's not a great singer, she's not technically gifted, so doing this type of music where she doesn't have to stretch herself vocally, I think fits her very good, and it's more about the attitude and the song itself, so it works very well for her. So I'm a huge Mia fan. She's one of my favorite idols, so it's good to see her at least, active and still working. We have Zero Base One with Yura Yura. I think it's fine. I think it's definitely one of the more marketable tracks, let's say, for the Japanese market. I just think vocally it's not the best, and it's the beat is not really great, but again, it's gonna do well in Japan, which is at the end of the day the major objective of them as a group. Next we have Jennie featuring Matt Champion with Slow Motion. Matt Champion of Brockhampton fame, obviously Jennie from Blackpink. I think the style of music fits her very good. Maybe dubstep type of productions really work well. I don't like Matt's part as much. I think it's too ethereal. He's a rapper. He's somebody that, in my opinion, should actually put more of his personality, which is what he used to do. I get it, now he's a full-blown artist, so you kind of have to like do a little bit of everything because that's your job. But I think when you're as good at him at a specific thing, you should push more towards that. For Jennie, I think she did fine in here, and again, I think if she did that more, even with Blackpink, we could see more interesting music. But that's not gonna happen because their formula really works and it's super successful. Next up, Seekers with We Don't Stop. I like the fact that Kozacha. Next week, Seekers, We Don't Stop. I like the fact that they keep pushing the hip hop part a lot, the rapping, the productions, and everything. The attitude is there. It's still K-pop in many ways, even the choruses and everything, the singing. But pushing that heavy on that aspect and making it good is the most important thing to make them really stand. And I think KQ did fantastic. He's doing fantastic right now with Seeker in every way. I'm really impressed by that. Next we have Jedzilla featuring Frenades with Madrid. Pretty solid track overall. Love her vocals a lot. I love her voice. The production is fine. I love this more alternative self-pop music, and I think they deliver it in a very fun way. And it's very chill. It's very laid back, and I enjoy it. I've really been enjoying this style of music this couple of years. Let's say B173 with 50/50. I just think it's a very forgettable track by them. Doesn't stand out as much as compared to the other stuff they've done, which is always fine. But this song doesn't move me in any way, I think. It's very forgettable. Next we have Lunate with Superpower. I think this is one of their better tracks, honestly, they've released. Specifically from a vocal standpoint, I think every aspect vocally is very good on this track, and it makes it a very enjoyable track as far as I'm concerned. The production is fun, it's bubbly, and I think it really fits their image very well. It keeps the specific styles they've been doing fresh, different. They have that I think stand out enough in this industry to really stand out compared to a lot of other boy groups. But yeah, I think the song is very enjoyable. I think the chorus is actually really catchy. Next up, Zodiac with Heyday. I think it's, for me, kind of the opposite of what I said about Lunate, where I found the song to be a little bit too generic, too derivative, specifically from 17, from that 2017-2018 era. Vocally, it's okay, and the chorus is pretty boring, and I think overall pretty uninteresting. So it's unfortunately a song that I don't like, and it's the opposite of everything I don't want to hear compared to Lunate, actually, where I really... Next we have Yua with Rooftop. Pretty enjoyable track by Yua, I think overall. Vocally it's solid, production wise it's good. It definitely has a different vibe from the stuff she did before. It's less, let's say, poppy in a way. It's more bubbly, I would say. It's more like it's less Hyuna from the early part and more Hyuna in the second part of her career, from an aesthetic point of view. But vocally, it's solid. I mean, Yua is a solid singer, and it has a decent vibe to it. The chorus is okay. It's not one of my favorite releases of her, but I think it's good to see her try different things at least, and not being stuck in that one mood. Let's say one thing with Valentine. It's a pretty solid track by him, solidly vocally. Obviously singing, he's a great singer. The production is simple, love the bass on it. It's okay. I think it's one of his more like laid back releases, which is fine. But I think he has released much better music in recent memory, so it doesn't stack up, but it's still a good song. Let's have Sevenus with Want You Back. I think it's a solid pop rock style of song. It's pretty generic in many ways. So it doesn't stand out as much for me. It's okay. I thought they were a new group, but apparently they've been out since 2016. I assumed like a different lineups and stuff like that because I've never heard of them somehow. But the song is pretty forgettable, unfortunately, and it's too generic for me to really care about the group and check other stuff they've done. Next I have Milena with No Jam. Really good song. Specifically from a vocal perspective, it's fantastic. Her voice, the way she sounds, her melodies, her vocal range is really good. The lyrics are fun. I think they're pretty enjoyable. It's, again, another one of these like more like call it indie pop music that I've been really enjoying recently. And again, the biggest I think attraction about this song is definitely her vocals, and I think the lyrics are enjoyable and it's a very catchy song in many ways. So I've really enjoyed it. I think it's one of my biggest surprises of this year, definitely. V with Friends. Um, it's actually a good song. I think V has been a surprise for me. I thought they were gonna go with him more with it like a Jimin or a Jungkook role, in the sense they wanted to push him to the heavens. They obviously didn't do that, and they allowed him to be his own artist, and I think it's showing in the quality of the music. Uh, the music video is fine. I know a lot of people praising it or whatever. I think in this type of music, the mistake you do is to make the artist stand out. I know it sounds stupid, maybe it's for certain people, but he's too much in frame, and I think he's not enough in the scene, so he consistently feels like he's out of there. Maybe that's what they wanted to achieve. I just don't think it really works the way they intended. But the song is really enjoyable. Always V vocally is really good. So it's and he's doing mature music, which is important as well, because I think K-pop fans need that a little bit more, I would say. Next we have Fishing Girls with Tutorial. I actually like the vocals here. I like her, the high pitched of one of the singers. She's really this high pitched voice that I really enjoy. It has this very like early 2010s kind of like alternative rock style to it, which I think is really good. The chorus is very catchy, the instrumentals are fine. Overall, I think it's a very enjoyable track, and it's a nice, I think, change of pace from what you normally hear in Korea, and even I think probably in the alternative community, you know. Next we have NND with First. They're a Korean rock group I've never heard of. I think song-wise it's fine. I think definitely the best aspect of the song is actually the voice of the guy, and the chorus is good. I just think the instrumentals don't hit as hard as they should, and I think in this type of songs you have to push a little bit more with that aspect of your music. Even though if you want to do something more melodic, more romantic, still push on the instrumental, make it sound harder. You know, that's the cool thing about rock music a lot of times, you know. And I think if you can use it very well, and complement it very well with the style similar to what like Weezer famously used to do, I think you can get some really good music out of it. Next we have Art MS, I think it's called, with Pre-1, which is their pre-debut. It's very interesting, in my opinion, because you have some really different styles of genres all fused together with these different styles of singing. It's very interesting, you know. It's not your typical K-pop track in many ways, even though it has certain like aspects, specifically from a melodic standpoint, and certain aspects of the choruses. But I mean, the production changes 3 or 4 times in different ways. Sometimes abrupt in a abrupt, how do you say, abrupt way. Other times not really, it's more smooth, but it works, and they have a clear aesthetic they want to go for, and I like it. I think it's very interesting and has a lot of potential for it to be special. Let's go. Dynamic duo featuring PH1 and Journey with Pitapa, just an old school 90s boom bap track. Very West Coast with some fusions of hip hop as well, of New York style hip hop. Great feature, great lyrics by everybody. It's nostalgic, but it's not in a way because of it's respectful, and I think it's a great homage to the era of music, which obviously Dynamic Duo is a huge fan of, as well myself. Next I have Boa with Emptiness. I've talked about it. It's my least favorite song Boa has released in years. I think it doesn't fit her as much. I feel like there's something missing production wise. It's okay. I think obviously Boa vocally is fine. She's refined at this point in her career. She exactly knows what she wants to do. It's just that I have such high expectations of her. These type of songs for me are not enough. Next we have NCT with Smoothie, NCT Dream. I mean, that's the most cancerous probably chorus I've heard in years, I would say. The rest of the song is standard NCT. I don't get it at Dream, but they're trying to do the 127 style in here, also referencing other music videos from 127 in the past. I didn't really get that as much, but the song is pretty, I think, not good, specifically for an NCT Dreams song, which again they've been very good last year, so I have higher expectation for them this year. Next we have Tan with Hypertronic. I think they found their style finally, production wise, vocally, aesthetically. The chorus is really good as well. I want them to push towards this direction and go for it from now on and really improve on it, not just try to chase against something else they haven't been able to achieve again. Next we have Kim Namjoon with Bad, obviously of Aping fame. Pretty good song, I love it. I think it's really good. I mean, Namjoon can do everything. Her singing is fantastic, and probably the worst part of the song is actually the chorus. I don't like the fact that it slows down. I think if it keeps the same speed and the same vibe, I think throughout. I think it's makes the song much better. Next up, the boys with the nectar. I think it's interesting in this song because they've pretty much tried to fuse every single style of music possible, and it somehow works. I have no idea how they did it. It's not a fantastic, it's not even a good song per se, but the fact they've tried to do so many different things in a song that's normally very predictable in many ways, I think it's respectable, and at least gives them that idea, that gives me the idea that they at least try to do something a little bit different every single time they approach a song. You know, people that produce with them and everything, they're comfortable with trying different things, and it doesn't always work, but at least it's worth a try, you know. Next we have MUSM with featuring Hane, Aldo, and who's the other guy? I always forget. Choi with MPC. Very good song. Vocal, it's fantastic. The guy and the girl fit with each other perfectly, and the production is fantastic as always. And like every MUSM song, so definitely one of the better songs of the month, one of the best songs of the year. I mean, MUSM keeps the track, keeps pretty much the same quality level that it did in 2023. Next we have Purple Kiss with Triple B, one of my favorite songs of the year, really. Great vocally, really fun production, super fun chorus. But nobody talks about this song for whatever reason, you know. Maybe if they were under Hype and Hype was pushing tens of millions of dollars of marketing like they're doing with Elite, probably they'll be 10 times bigger. But you know, in this industry, it's impossible for a group like Purple Kiss to get out of that tier of popularity and go to the next one. It's impossible today. It was 10 years ago, they were already been one of the most popular groups in the country, but it's impossible to do that now, unfortunately. Next is Super Junior DNA with Rose. I mean, it's very YG. It's very G-Dragon in many ways. Taeyang, I could see this song actually be theirs. Maybe the writer wrote it originally for them, and then they decided to give it to Onyuk and it's not Daesung, what's his name? I'm forgetting right now, but the other guy, and I'm forgetting his name. Sorry, but they really work well with each other, and the song is good. It's definitely old school, but it's good. And always, I would say, from Super Junior we have a GGB, which is more fun. It's still second generation style production and everything, but again, they fit very well with each other vocally, and they've grown so much, I think, compared to when they started it. It's noticeable how much they've improved and how much effort they put vocally as well. Next we have Candy Shop with Good Girl. I like it. I like it a lot. It's just a good song, in my opinion. It's catchy as hell. Solid vocals, I would say okay at best. Decent lyrics, and I think a very, very catchy chorus. So I really enjoyed it. It's nothing special, but I really enjoyed it personally. Next we have the new Six with Fuego. Another, I think this is their debut. Very Most Likes, very, I think, EXO, second generation. Different fusions of style. I think the best part of the song is actually the drop. The drop normally is the part where everybody kind of makes a mistake on. I think they nailed it very good in here. If you ask me personally, I wish they actually went harder production wise and made it a little bit more hardcore, but they wanted to do a little bit of everything to showcase different abilities. So in certain aspects the songs tend to be a little bit more generic, but the drop and I think the rapping are actually the highlights of this track. The rest is okay, it's nothing special. But you know, I'm curious to see what they're gonna do. You know, they're a rookie group, so I'm curious to see how they can evolve this style going forward. Next with TXT with Deja Vu. They've tried rapping on here. I just don't think it's their thing as far as I'm concerned. Also, why use autotune their way? I think if you're just gonna use autotune just to put on your voice raw without doing any sort of melodies or vocal concepts in a way while you're rapping, then why use autotune that way? The flows are not that good in my opinion, and there is no real attitude. You can clearly tell that they're just reading off of a paper when they're singing it. So I mean, rapping is just not their thing, so I have no idea why they switched it, but that's what happens when you do different things to follow a trend to make more money. I mean, TXT had a clear concept, clear aesthetic, clear strengths, and since then they've tried different things that just don't cater to their strength, cater to pretty much only their weaknesses, and therefore I think it made their music much worse. Next I have Young Posse with XXL. It's so good, I can't believe it. It's so good. It's really good. Vocal is that the rapping is so good, the production is good. It's stupid, it's funny, it's quirky, but it's still hip hop in many ways, you know. And they've nailed that very good. It's clear that the company understands that very well, and it's working. And they did a great job at it, in my opinion. So I really fuck with it. I think it's a great, one of my favorite songs of the year already. So how can you not love it if you love hip hop? In my opinion, you're gonna love it. But it goes back to why, so when they debuted, everybody was saying they were shit. I'm like, you're not seeing the vision. And I saw the vision, and I'm really proud of that because that means I still have an eye when it comes to talented groups in this genre, you know, after everything. Ladies and gentlemen, it's live Yuk with Ale. I don't know when was the last time that Yuk released a song, but I mean, Yuk is one of the most, I think, iconic K-pop singers ever, and K-rock obviously as well. You know, he after the whole thing with Vix happened, he just stopped pretty much being around. You know, you can't really do much about it, unfortunately. It's the way the industry is, you know. He took a break, did other things, and I was making music, and vocal has always been fantastic in my opinion. Probably if not the best, the second best out of Vix, but Vix has a lot of really good singers as well. Maybe more unorthodox than normally, or like, sorry, yeah, unorthodox than the most artists in the genre, but he's very good. I like this song. I think this song really showcases his strength, his sweet vocals, very soft, really good. I think in terms of vocal ability, and it's stable. It's a very stable voice that really suits you at its best. Let's have Kino with Freaky Love. Okay, I would say it's not my style of music. I don't particularly like it, but I can see other people enjoying it a lot more. It's just not my. Let's have Miai with Click. I think it's a very fun song. Nice Steam notification there. It's really fun, solid vocals. I don't like the rapping sections. I don't know why they keep focusing. They're putting rap on these type of songs. They really hurt these tracks overall. So, the song is good, but it would be much better if the rapping wasn't there. Next I have Elite with Magnetic. Now, let's start with the obvious thing. This song is good. It's obviously good. You know, it follows the New Jeans formula very well. In terms of vocals, in terms of the aesthetic, the production, but the success of this song is obviously fabricated. You know, the song is not as popular as they're claiming, it's not as popular as they make it look. I mean, they're obviously fabricating wins and award shows. So now if you're a smaller group and you're having a very popular track in your country, you can never win. You can never succeed. So even when you see Instagram people using it, I mean, you have to think they're being pushed to using it as well. So the song is fine, it's good, it's catchy, but it's nothing special compared to what we've heard from this company in this past couple of years, where specifically their girl groups have been very good. So it's okay, but people have to stop selling it as if it's the biggest thing ever, because it really isn't. And unfortunately the company is pushing it to be that way. Let's have Cooing with Rec. I mean, Cooing is just a very good artist. She always releases quality music. She's amazing vocally. She's always tries different things producing wise. I know I repeat myself a lot of times, but she's very good, and I think this song really is a nice fusion of disco music, pop music, some club music as well in there, with some elements of older school K-pop, traditional ballads. Everything is fused in a very interesting way to create one of the more fun releases Queen has had in a long time, and one of the more eclectic releases she had. So it's nice to see her releasing music, being consistently good at it, doing it consistently as she's doing it, and vocally again, she's fantastic. I think she's a very underrated singer as well in that sense. We have Tablo featuring Jason with 1,000 Years. I love my main Tablo, but he's not really a singer, and so when he sings I don't tend to enjoy the songs as much. It's not about the vocalization, it's actually when he's trying to full blow sing. I think that's the biggest weakness of his work. It's not a big problem here. I think it's fine. The rappings are solid. I think the flow is okay. I think the vocals are decent. At best, in certain aspects they're bad, and the lyrics I think are a little bit too simplistic as far as I'm concerned. I think Tablo, when he really wants to, he can really shock you lyrically. In this one he went a little bit more simple, but it's fine. Next we have J-Hope featuring Yunmira and Gecko with Neuron. Great hip-hop track again. J-Hope really understands hip-hop at its best, from the production, the people that he chooses to feature with. I really like the production. It's very New York. We know yet, but like very East Coast, Chicago, some Detroit as well. So I like it a lot, and Gecko kills it on here. He has one of his best features probably ever, and Yumina is also very good. So great use of everybody's voice, everybody's ability to bring the best out of the track. So I love the music video is great as well. Black and white, kind of showcasing different people of different places and different backgrounds. and I fuck with it. It's really good. The message is amazing as well. This is where I see the J. Cole influence that J-Hope claims to have it, which he has, but sometimes you really can't see it as far as obviously Yumere kills it with her rapping. She has great voice and one of the most impressive features in not just by a female rapper, but in general by a rapper in a long time as far as I'm concerned. Next we have Bang Hyuk with Movimiento. I think Jungkook has really mastered the way he uses his voice. I mean, he obviously has a very deep voice, but the way he uses it on a production like this, it's very good. The vocals effects on it are very good. They complement very well the production, the club aesthetic, and it makes it into one of the more fun songs he has released in a long time. You know, it gets away from hip hop and it still does something very good. I think it's very impressive. Next, we have Eunice with Superwoman. I think it's solid. Again, I think it's interesting to see that it's been a comeback of this more like girl aesthetic for girl groups, abandoning that like badass aesthetic that was really prominent until 2 years ago, or really like 2022 really. So it's nice to see it. The song is fun. It's not my favorite song of these ones that I've listened in the recent memory, but it's catchy. The vocals are okay, and I wish the song had a little bit more of a oomph to it. It's, I think, too boring in certain aspects, and it's a relatively long song for a K-pop track in 2024. So. And this was it for March 2023. Hopefully you liked the video. There wasn't many songs that I necessarily hated. I thought there was a lot of solid quality overall going throughout from start to finish. I don't know why I'm so like so much light. I don't know what to do about it, but I think overall the quality was there. If you ask me what were my favorites out of these month, I would tell you personally, obviously you have Chunga featuring Gongjong from 80s with Ini Mini. I would say Wendy Wish You Hell, Giddy Boy. I would say Audrey No with Rewind Repeat, Daniel G. Kai, Bobe with Escape, Homies, it was really funny, Swing, Mia, Seekers, Jazzy Life, Wonstein, V, Fishing Girls, Art MS, Kim Namjoon, Purple Kiss, MUSM, and Young Posse. I would say this is my favorites, and even a little bit Magnetic. These are my favorite songs out of this month. I'm probably not gonna make a video about them because there wasn't really much stuff to talk about these songs, honestly. But these were my favorites out of this month. So tell me what you think. Leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe, and see you with the next video. Thank you for watching.